Now let's talk about the action. There's a lot of action on here. Let's not get too wrapped up in words and get right into the first hunt. We're going into the Canadian Rockies of British Columbia after grizzly bears in the springtime. So let's get right to the action and head up north, across the border, into the Rockies of British Columbia after grizzly bears. Well, folks, we're just getting packed up here. We're in British Columbia, just north of the U.S. border, north of Montana. We're going in after grizzly and black bears. So this is wild country. Those of you who saw Ike's goat hunt, we're going in the same exact area. So we're getting all packed up, getting our stuff loaded on these horses. We're gonna pack in probably 4 or 5 miles into base camp and hunt from there. So we'll get all loaded up and then we'll be on the road. Being a Wyoming boy, I've seen my fair share of grizzlies. But we can't hunt them in Wyoming. They're on the protected endangered species list. But here in British Columbia, it's fair game. We have a tag in our pocket. So I'm not going to waste any time. As soon as we roll into camp, we're going to put our gear and stuff in the cabin and head right out up the creek drainage, right to those snow slides and start glassing for grizzlies and start hunting right away. Hunt grizzlies in British Columbia, you have to go with a guide. And we're hunting this time with my good friend and outfitter, Rick White out of Sparwood, British Columbia. Now Rick and his crew, they hunt elk, mule deer, moose in this area during the fall. So they see a lot of these bears during the fall. They can't hunt them in the fall, only in the spring, but they've seen some huge grizzlies in this country. So we're gonna go in there and see if we can find one of those big old Bruins that they've seen during the fall and put the smack down on him here in the spring hunt. We hadn't gone 300 yards and there in the mud was a big old set of grizzly tracks. So things were looking up. We knew we were in the right spot. Unfortunately, that night we didn't see any grizzlies in person, but we saw a lot of wildlife, some cow elk, some deer, a couple moose, and some goats, of course, up in the rocks. You know, Ike and I hunted here the year before in November for Ike's goat, and we saw a goat on that hunt we called Dirty Goat. He's really old, broomed off, real dirty looking goat. We didn't get him, but we nicknamed him. We sure watched him a lot during that hunt. And once you know it, Nate and I glassed up in those rocks high on that peak, and there was our old friend from the year before, Dirty Goat. Got a big bear here. We were waiting. Greg got us up to the snow slide. It's about a 2 or 3 hour ride from camp. And I was taking one of my patented Eastman naps over here in the sun. Kind of loving springtime in the Rockies, taking a little nap, nice day. And Nate woke me up and said, there is a big bear up in that snow slide. And sure enough, I got my scope on it and there's a big old bear. He's kind of working his way down, so we're gonna kind of see what he does here, but he's obviously a boar all by himself, big old claws on him. He's just kind of traversing down off that mountainside out of that snow, so hopefully if we get down here we can kind of see what he's doing and make a move on him. He looks like a good bear. If that isn't a sight. It's one of the prettiest sights I've ever seen in the out-of-doors right there. Look at that sucker. Jeez. We're gonna wait this bear out. You know, we'd have to cross the creek and everything to get over there, but hopefully we're just gonna wait and hopefully he's working his way down, right down this slide, and what they'll do is they come into these alders and dig around for grubs and ground squirrels and that kind of thing, and I think he might be looking for a mate, you know, a big old boar like that on the move. Maybe he's looking for a sow or something, so We're hoping he comes out in this rock pile. If he comes out, pops out down here in this rock pile, he's gonna be within striking distance of the old Weatherby here. So we're gonna cross our fingers, kind of see what happens. You don't really want to go up there in the brush with him if you don't have to. So we're gonna wait this out and see what happens. I think he's gonna pop out in these rocks and come right down here where we can get a shot at him, hopefully. He looks like a big old bear, definitely one we want to take. Good Lord. Well, we've waited this bear out for about 3 hours. He hasn't showed up, so we're gonna go pack up, get on the horses, and go check the next slide over, because he was kind of working his way down the ridge here. So we're gonna go check that next slide, sit on it till dark probably, and see if he comes out there. Well, it's been almost 6 hours since we saw that big bear up in the snow up there. We moved over to this slide thinking he was moving this way, and he didn't show. So he'll be in here. He's not leaving. He'll be here for about a week or so, I'd imagine. So we'll just come back and hit it tomorrow and see if we can turn him up somewhere in one of these 2 slides and maybe get a shot at him. He's a good bear. So that's hunting. We're gonna go back to camp and get some grub and some sleep, and we'll be back here first thing in the morning. Catching a glimpse of that great big bear, boy, it sure was a sleepless night that night. But morning couldn't come quick enough, and as soon as it did, we were saddling horses, on horseback, headed up the trail to that big rock slide where that big bear had been seen the day before. You gotta love springtime in the Rockies. You know, you wake up, it's nice bluebird skies. Afternoon, those big clouds start rolling in over those peaks, and pretty soon it's pouring down rain. And that's what it did on us almost every day. And this day, it really poured. But we were holed up in this trapper's cabin. I kept looking as that rain's coming down. I'm watching that river every 15 minutes. I'm looking at that river, it's rising up, thinking, man, if it gets any deeper, we're not gonna be able to get these horses across that river to hunt that big slide where the big bear is. The sun's gonna come out soon. When it just about got too deep, well, we're gonna call it off, head back to camp, and figure we'd have to cut our losses. The clouds broke, sun came out, river started to go down, it got sunny again. We're able to put an evening hunt in on that big bear. Well, we have a big bear here. 2 days ago, we spotted him way up above timberline there, and we've had a couple of days of bad weather. I've been sitting in this slide for a couple of days watching it. Finally, this afternoon, I saw a bear go across those rocks up there. And I looked, and it was a little small to be him, but it was obviously a sow. And then right behind her came that big bear from up there 2 days ago. He's got this sow down in this avalanche slide here. He's trying to breed her, so about the 29th of May here, so they're right in their rut season. So hopefully he comes back out. They keep going back and forth in this rock slide as he's trying to catch up with her to breed her. So we're hoping he comes back out right down here in this bottom where I can get a shot. We'll wait him out and see what happens. It's a big bear. I almost had a shot at him, but he went across that rock slide and never stopped. He was too busy chasing her, so we'll wait him out and see what happens. Greg and I hunted in the big avalanche chute for the monster bear for 2 more days, and he never did show up. We started to second guess ourselves and start thinking, well, maybe he moved on. And sure enough, when we saw the sow and 2 cubs roll out into the rock slide, we knew that he probably had moved on. If he was still there, he'd be out there with them, killing the cubs, trying to bring that sow back into heat, but he wasn't there. So we decided to move into another slide further down the drainage where we'd seen a lot of other bears, and we knew there were some sows that were probably going to come into heat in there. Who knows, maybe that big bear would turn up there. We figured that was a better bet. So we moved down to that other rock slide and started glassing bears up, and wouldn't you know it, it worked out for us. He looks like a good bear. He's not the real big one, but he looks like a real nice mature boar. So we're gonna go up there and see what happens, see if we can get within a couple 100 yards of him, get some footage, and if he looks like a real good bear, we're gonna try to take him. So we're gonna have to go up this slide, across the crown, into this next slide where we can see him and get a shot at him. So we're got a couple hours till dark, so we're gonna have to haul tail here. Hit him. He's rolling. Oh my God. Holy smokes. What a bear. What a gorgeous, gorgeous mountain grizzly. Whew. Well, folks, we hiked up here. Took us almost an hour. Get up here, straight up this rock slide. We came up the back way and through over this little knife ridge here that's full of timber and just full of alders. Thank goodness Mama Bear wasn't home, because you could see where they've been passing back and forth like crazy, feeding him these slides. But Nate spotted him up in that thick timber, and he just, like it was scripted in a movie, he just came walking right down off that knife ridge and into this rock slide here on that grassy hillside, and offered me about a 180-yard shot. The old Weatherby 3378 boy gave me the old Nosler partition throwdown, boy. He just rocked him. He definitely saved us a little bit of a pack out, because he's actually down below us now. We shot him 180 yards above us, so he rolled, shoot, probably 400 yards, but just a gorgeous bear. And I couldn't ask for anything better. This has been a dream. And this is just gorgeous country, and couldn't ask for a better hunt and a better time. Let's go look at this big guy. What a bear. Woo. Well, folks, here we are in the beautiful Canadian Rockies of British Columbia, and our evening couldn't have ended any better. We got a big old bear here. We made a stalk straight up this mountain out of the river bottom there. We got within 175 yards of him. He was feeding on this hillside and just kind of fed right into our lap within 175 yards. Made a perfect shot on him, and he just tumbled down this rock slide, and just a gorgeous grizzly. We had to pack out today to get some fresh horses and some more grub, some more horse feed. Came back in just for an evening hunt and connected with this dude. So
couldn't have turned out any better. So we're gonna go back to camp and have a celebration bonfire. If the mosquitoes don't pack us off the mountain first, we're gonna get him all skinned out and down off the mountain here, hopefully before dark. But just gorgeous culmination of a great hunt here in British Columbia, here in the high Rockies after mountain grizzlies.
Well, folks, now